In the United States, women are supposedly looked at as equals, but in our country and many other countries around the world, this is not the case. Sexism is prejudice or discrimination based on sex. Women are subjected to this daily around the world. Women are treated differently economically because in some places, the right to housing and an education is reserved only for men. Women are treated differently in three major ways: economically, politically, and culturally. Women face cultural sexism due to specific values and religions. The political rights women are denied include the power to influence and participate in the government.
In China, with their one-child policy, women are valued less because men are required to take care of their elders. Women, on the other hand, are required to take care of their in-laws, and as a result, they are often put up for adoption or aborted during pregnancy. This unrealistic preference of males will lead to a gender imbalance in the future. There would be too many men and the population would be unsustainable. In Japan, an issue involving women's rights is prostitution. Although it was banned in the late 1950s, certain groups and clubs have found loopholes allowing the industry to make an enormous profit a year. Bride purchasing is another illegal industry that allows women to be bought and sold as property in countries such as India and China. It is often referenced to as marriage of convenience, and they are often resold. However, China is also taking steps in a positive direction. They are now allowing girls to pursue a higher education and try to enter the workforce.
Continue to face discrimination and social challenges, and are often victims of abuse and violent crimes. India is the fourth most dangerous country for women.
Acid throwing acts as a lesson to put women in their place. Acid attacks on women who dare to refuse a man's proposal, or a woman asks of the man for a divorce.
In India, eve-teasing implies sexual suggested remarks like brushing in public places, catcalling, and sometimes there's outright groping.
Blank Noise is a public art project that seeks to confront eve-teasing.
There are two kinds of bride burning. The first kind occurs when a husband dies and his widow can be put on his funeral pile because she cannot be married again and is considered useless. The second kind of bride burning occurs when a woman's family does not send enough money with her when she gets married. These women are often burned in their homes or kitchens to make it look like an accident. For the women who do survive, the effects are highly scarring, while the men are free to remarry.
In the Middle East, a lot of the discrimination is based on religious beliefs and cultural tradition. Although there have been leaders in Muslim countries, in Arabic-speaking countries, no women have held positions of power. In recent news, a 15-year-old Pakistani girl was shot in the head by a member of the Taliban because she went to school and encouraged other girls to do the same. Bad is a traditional practice of settling disagreements in Afghanistan and Pakistan. Bad is when young girls are traded to settle disputes for older relatives. These girls often suffer abuse. This is mostly due to negative culture attitudes towards women in politics. Swara is a similar custom. Youth girls are forced to marry a member of a different clan to settle feuds.
A major problem for women in South American countries is childcare. Due to poverty, women may have to give up or abort their children. Haiti, in particular, deals with a form of child slavery called restavek. This occurs when a mother cannot care for their children. In certain Latin American countries, sexual harassment was somewhat acceptable in the workplace. In recent years, laws were put in place making sexual harassment punishment by up to 2 years in prison. Even with these laws, few sexual harassment cases have been ever brought to Brazil. Abortion is illegal in Brazil, except in cases of rape. Even being outlawed, there are still many illegal abortions performed, and over 2,000 women have been treated for abortion-related complications. For getting an abortion, women may face up to 3 years in prison. In Brazil, women's property rights are undemanded by different matrimony regimes. Each regime is different, but all restrictions of women's rights to ownership of her husband's property. If he dies, the land will go to the children instead.
On the outside of America, it seems like women have become equals. However, when you look underneath the surface, it is clear that women are not treated as equals in today's world. Not only do many women receive less pay than men doing the same workload, but they also struggle to progress politically. As an example, a female politician, such as Hillary Clinton, may make an important speech, but the public would pay more attention to her appearance. This strips the power women have worked so hard to earn. Women have also forfeited the right to their own bodies. Although abortion is legal in the United States, there are still many restrictions. Some extreme pro-life groups have even gone to violent lengths to try to prove their point. As an example, some extremist groups have even bombed abortion clinics. Not only in America, but all over the world, women have been bombarded with altered images of the perfect woman. These images distort young girls' perceptions of themselves and teaches them to judge others based on appearances.
Not likely. Yikes, 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 and let me guess, you have a great personality.
From childhood, girls are convinced to conform and rely on men for specific roles like providing money, while we are left raising children, cleaning, and cooking. While we have moved on from that being our sole purpose in life, we still feel the need for a Prince Charming to come and sweep us off our feet.
With eyes that shine like stars, my girl will marvel at my strength, adore my battle scars.
I couldn't care less what you wear or what she looks like. It all depends on what she cooks like.
Okay, so I feel there are two major ways in which women's issues can be viewed globally. The first is covert and the second overt. Overt discrimination, which means outward basically, occurs in mainly non-Western, less civilized countries. So basically the third world will overtly discriminate against women. Issues that come from this overt discrimination are kind of larger, more practical issues, such as childcare, basic rights, women's mobility, the right to defend oneself if being attacked, the right to vote, really kind of things that we take as basic human rights in these third world countries will be more of an issue. Whereas in countries like ours, more westernized countries, women's issues are going to be more expressed through covert discrimination. So this discrimination is going to be more internalized and much more subtle. So the word misogyny, I think, is important here. It's a generalized hatred towards women. It's very internalized hatred. It's something that most people don't even realize is there, but every once in a while it shows itself, basically.
things such as the right to control one's body, the right and access to abortion and birth control, the price of birth control, are all things that are going to be really important in our country. And who is making these decisions?
As Bill Gates said in 2010 in Saudi Arabia, where women and men were separated, he was asked the question, would the country become one of the largest, most competitive by 2010? His answer was, if you're not fully utilizing half the talent in the country, you're not going to get too close to the top. This shows how women need to be fully embraced in today's society to help move the world forward economically, politically, and culturally.